shocking.
No, that's the question you have to answer.
You could,
we don't want you to answer it.
Oh, sorry, okay, so what is my favorite color? My favorite color is orange.
Shocking.
If he doesn't know that, it's a problem.
Orange. That one feels. That's kind of a gimme. That's a softball. I appreciate it.
Alright, now what is Jacob's favorite color? Jacob's favorite color is blue.
What's your wedding colors?
I know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Blue. I like the dark blue.
Okay, how many instruments does Jacob play? Does Jacob play? Yes. I mean, he can plink around on the piano, and he is,
I love that word.
has studied the trumpet, so I'm probably just gonna do those two. Alright.
I only actually play the one instrument, which is the trumpet, but I dabble in a lot of other instruments. Other people sometimes tell me that I can play them, but that's only because they've never heard me, really try, which is where things kind of start to break down. I can make noise on lots of things. I can't actually play very many things.
I think that, so what he specifically said is like he can play the piano well enough to compose music, which
So he's wrong.
yeah, that's what we're saying.
It sounds like he has a higher standard.
Humility is hot. It's fine. All right.
What is Jacob's favorite musical?
That would be
Good
hard.
questions.
Wow.
I mean, we've talked about Come From Away, but I don't think he's seen it. I will also, we've talked about Operation Mincemeat, but he hasn't seen that one either. So,
Doesn't count.
favorite musical that he's seen or been in? Oh, I think it's Joseph. I think it's Joseph the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Okay.
My favorite composer for musicals is Sondheim, because of course it's Sondheim. He's everybody's favorite. And my favorite Sondheim show is Into the Woods. Which I know is also Alayna's answer. But it's really, really good.
But you haven't seen the Bernadette Peters version.
Have you seen the one with you as Rachel?
Oh, we don't punish people with
If he
that.
hasn't seen Bernadette, he hasn't seen it.
So Alayna was in Into the Woods as Alayna, who could sing every word for every song.
Yeah.
Was
Repertory
Rapunzel,
so hard.
who only has a few words to say and just goes like,
That's funny. Okay. What is Jacob's favorite thing about you, Alayna?
Good answer.
I'm really funny.
and Tom. That's an inside joke. Okay. That's what we say instead of and.
Let me see. There's so many things. This is another unfair question. There's so many things I love about her. I think my favorite thing about Alayna, and there are so many, many things to love, is how unashamedly and unabashedly herself she is all the time.
What a safe answer.
It's a bit of a cop-out, but we're here.
Actually, you missed the
I love every part of her, and that's my favorite thing.
And that's one reason we liked about him.
That's true.
Now, what is Jacob's? What is your favorite thing about Jacob? I mean, the very similar thing of like, there are so many things to enjoy. And like the easy thing is like, yeah, it's so easy to be myself around him, and like that I love the me that I am when I'm with him, and there's that. But that's like more his interactions with Emo. It's my favorite thing about Jacob. It's just a really hard question. Truly.
You're welcome.
6 foot, blue eyes.
Yeah. Well, okay, so the funny answer to this is I realized after I started dating Jacob that I do have a type, and it is brunette, blue eyes, nerdy, and like good relationships with his family. And so like every time I watch a TV show or something, I'm like, oh, that character that I've always loved. It's like I'm getting to marry the best version of that. So I guess my favorite thing about Jacob is that he's the best version of my type.
I love it.
Now you can add that in there. Implied.
And there are so many things. I think that she is probably going to say something along the lines of how her favorite thing is that I'm always present and I'm always there for whatever is going on. Just whatever it is that we're doing, or when we don't have any plans or anything like that, I'm just always kind of around. Not unlike oh, who's this guy who's just hanging around kind of thing. I try to be present in whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
Alright. What has Jacob's favorite date with you been?
I've planned some truly incredible dates. The one that was like pretty hard to beat though was his friend reached out to us, his friend who lives in Texas, and just with a few weeks notice, and was like, hey, we have some flight credits we can't use, and there's a concert we'd like to go that like we both love this artist. Do you want to come and bring Alayna and just hang out in Texas and go to this concert? And so we did kind of whirlwind weekend trip, and it was our first live concert together. We went to Stadium of Fire not together. Yeah, so I think that will be what he says.
Can I just say, the artist was Conan Gray, and she didn't tell me that until after they'd already heard
No. That
Well,
was
you
the
weren't
artist we
invited
were going
anyway.
for. We were going for Maisie Peters.
One of my favorite dates that we've been on was when we went to see The Drowsy Chaperone in Salt Lake. It was somewhere up near Salt Lake. I had never seen it before, and it was such a delightful show, and I know that it's one of her favorites. And she had such a fun time sharing it with me, and yeah, it was just, it was a really lovely time, and we both really enjoyed it.
That was a really good one. We did good dinner before that as well. Again, so many dates that I planned for us to do.
Hard to keep track.
Yeah.
So, when did Jacob know he wanted to marry you? What do you think?
Well, he mentioned that, like, once he decided that he loved me, like, that was pretty much everything past then was, like, that was the biggest hurdle. And, like, everything next, like, came pretty close after that. So I would say probably, let's see, what day is for that? I'd say probably late August, early October, a week or so after.
Come on, guys, that's when we knew that he wanted to marry you.
Yeah, so I'll say August, and around the time when we decided we loved each other.
Oh boy, I'm really gonna out myself on this one. We had not been dating very long. Answer to that question. I don't think that I realized that was the decision I had made in my head. I don't think I thought about it consciously. I just sort of realized one day, oh, I think that I want to marry this woman and never be apart again. And yeah, we had been dating for less than 3 months, so it was like in October.
Okay, so August, October, yeah.
Alright,
Maybe it was really August 7th.
Well, I don't know what he thinks our song is. I know what I think our song is. Because
Your song.
yeah, that's true. That's my song. And so when I decided to tell him that I loved him, we like had a lovely little moment, and then I just played this song on my phone, and we just like had a moment. And it is All I've Ever Known from Hades Town.
Good choice.
But he loves a lot of Ben,
Probably the
Ben
song
Rector.
that Alayna would pick if you asked her this question would be All I've Ever Known from Hades Town, which is a show that she introduced me to.
Smart man.
And
Good job, Jacob.
yeah, it's just a song that communicates a lot of things that she feels about our relationship. And I mean that I feel as well now that I am also familiar with the show. There's a lot of musical theater going on in this conversation, outside of specific questions about musicals. But yes, I think that is probably the best answer to that question.
So that's what we're having David and Melissa sing at our reception, and so then I decided, because like I think it's only fair, I don't know what his song would be for our relationship, so he gets to choose that and choose what we dance to.
Nice.
He does dance. Yeah. So, what is Jacob's favorite film score?
So for those who don't know, he actually.
Yeah, Jacob's a composer. I mean, I know he How to Train Your Dragon and like John Powell is like up there. I know he appreciates the 2005 Pride and Prejudice.
Man of taste.
Film scores. I think that those are the two that are going to be my strongest. Yeah.
I think that for movies, the answer would probably have to be the original Star Wars soundtrack, which is kind of a cop-out. Everybody loves that soundtrack, but everybody loves it for a reason, because it's really, 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 really good. I think that for kind of a more, I mean, that was clear back in the 70s, so I think for more of a modern
He wasn't alive.
sound, probably one of my favorite scores right now that I've been listening to a lot is the soundtrack from Horizon Zero Dawn by Joris de Man. That's totally different kind of a sound, not at all like John Williams, but it's very good, and
Cute obscure baby.
He's such a music snob.
I know.
Said with love, but it's
Yeah.
Alright, who said I love you first?
Well, I feel like there's a technicality here.
Always a technicality.
Yeah.
We're very technical people.
So part of it is I have always been a cautious dater, and so he knew that he couldn't say it first because he didn't want to freak me out. And so I said it first earlier than either of us expected. But I said, I think I love you. And then so technically he was probably the first to say I love you. And then he, followed it up by saying I really love you. All within like a short period of time.
You might get a slightly different answer out of Alayna, but I will tell you the full story. So I actually said I love you first. I was the one who said those words first. To be fair, Alayna did say, I think I love you. To which I responded, I think I love you too. And then I shook my head and said, no, I definitely love you. And then she said it back. So she kind of said it first, but I actually said it.
I feel like you get
Contention about
for
who was in love first. This is the only good kind of contention to have, right?
I love it.
And that's it. The rest of it is because I forgot to